You had mentioned a social media account that espoused anti-immigrant, anti-Semitic views, but you did not say what platform that was on and what the username was. And this is Crooks that we're discussing.
Yes, Senator, that's correct. I didn't want to comment on it because we haven't fully confirmed yet, and I thought that as soon as we confirm and certify,
Would
I
you
will
supply
provide
that?
to you.
And
Absolutely.
also the age at which he had those feelings. And then we understand that the Gab account is pro-immigration, pro-lockdown, leftist views. Is that accurate?
I haven't seen it directly, but I believe from what I've been told, that is accurate. With the Gab account, we're also, though that's been publicly revealed through the CIO and other things, we're still working to certify and verify that that's his account also. But it does have differing points of view, it would appear.
Okay. And what age and how fresh is that Gab account?
The Gab account, based on my recollection, the comments in there or the messaging is from about 2021, I believe.
Okay. And the other preceded that? Maybe he was age 14?
Yes, Senator. The other account that we talked about was in the 2019-2020 timeframe, so it would have been in the couple years right before the Gab
Right
messaging.
before that.
Yes.
Are there other accounts that you all are currently verifying and receiving information from?
We are. We've, as I mentioned, we've issued a bunch of legal process, and we're still awaiting returns from a number of the companies to include other social media companies as well.
If you joined me yesterday for my coverage of the Joint Senate Subcommittee hearing where the acting director of the Secret Service and the deputy director of the FBI were interrogated by the Senate, then you will recognize that clip. However, what I have for you now is it appears that that clip that you just watched very well might be a lie. I will remind everybody that a lie under oath is known as perjury, which is a felony. This and more after we hear a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by XS Sites, and I've been using XS for almost a decade now, and I will admit that when I first started being introduced to XS Sites, I didn't get it. It wasn't until I took a Force on Force class that was a low light class that I was like, oh, there's no other site in the world. This is what we have to use. And I've been using them ever since. I gravitate towards their big dot sights for my pistols, but the same technology is available in the regular dot size. XS continuously pushes the envelope, such to the point that they even recently came out with fiber optic sights for those people who are completely wrong about how to use sights. Special thanks to XS for making today's video possible. Kurt, perjury sounds a little bit strong. Elon Musk agrees with me. So to set you up, I got to take you to an individual known as Andrew Torba. He is the founder of Gab, the application that was mentioned, or one of the applications, excuse me, that was mentioned in the intro of the video. Several days ago, he received a request from the FBI saying, hey, we believe this account to be soy boy beater extraordinaire Lee Tardy Oswald's account. We want the contents of it. At the time, they said that this wasn't real. You know, all the super cope media was like, yeah, it doesn't exist, you know, blah. He published it. I've cleaned this up a little bit for you guys, but from reading it all the way down to the bottom, you can see that the username is Epic Microwave. In response to yesterday's testimony that he found erroneous, Torba published the messages themselves. The posts from Gab seem to directly contradict what the deputy director of the FBI says, in fact, showing that exactly the opposite was true. So at a minimum, what's going on here is Mr. Abbate is obfuscating, presenting information that is old from the time period when Dirtbag was approximately 14 years old. Well, I don't know about you, but I didn't know much about anything when I was 14 years old. I knew that I was interested in girls. Now, we obviously know that Lee Tardy Oswald had not yet discovered girls yet. What we see here in the intro video that I showed you is the senator calling him on his crap about the fact that looks like, was indeed a leftist, an Act Blue donating, Biden supporting leftist that was registered as a Republican for the purposes of voting against Donald Trump in the primary because Pennsylvania is a closed primary state. What we reported to you basically from the onset. And I know that because I and several of my friends do exactly the same thing in the state of Ohio, although we have an open primary system that allows us to pick whatever ballot we want. But I routinely vote for Democrats in the primary because I want to make sure that the least qualified person rises to the top. Don't get me wrong, I believe the anti-Semitic behavior thing. I just think that a lot of people seem to have forgotten where that line is and on what side of that line various people of differing ideologies stand these days. That's all I'm saying. That said, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Did the deputy director of the FBI perjure himself while trying to run cover for his lefty buddies? And I can't say what I want to say here on YouTube, but what do you think would be the reason for running such cover instead of just admitting that Lee Tardy Oswald was a leftist? Could it be that